Real life taken. Mom hunted down 10 cartel members for killing daughter. That's badass. Not even gonna lie to you. Hello everyone. We're here for another Bada Boom and a Bada Bing, and today we are finding out about Mama is a superhero, bro. She took down who? She hunted who? Like I honestly would not have. That's like an original statement. Like I'm just in so much shock by a title. But we gotta get to the story because what in the world? Rest in peace to her daughter though. Like I really would like to learn about how this even happened. But this is some superhuman stuff. I'm being honest with you. That's how I feel because I would say I'm indoctrinated by just how, like, I'm scared of the cartel, obviously. Especially in my cozy country of America. Like, well, give or take, cozy, lack for a better term. But this mama badass, bro. What? Shout out to the moms out there, bro. But specifically in this video, her. Because what? The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by the host of this show are for authentic, honest, and entertaining purposes. Unless you don't think I'm entertaining. I repeat, this is my opinion. I am not telling you how or what to think or feel, but I do encourage you to speak your mind and have conversations. Just don't do too much. Also, this video is brought to you by Sebastine's Patreon, where you can access over 1,000 videos of exclusive content. If you want to subscribe and support this amazing community, click the link in the description below, and thank you for everything. Enjoy the video.
Bada bing, bada boom.
In a small, quiet diner, there's 3 people sitting at a table. On
Okay.
one side, you have a woman, and on the other side, you have these
the mama.
2 young men. She looks old enough to be their mom, but she's not their mom.
Okay.
And the 3 of them, they look like they're in their own little world inside of this diner. Each of them have a plate of food in front of them, and each of them have a completely different energy from each other. They don't look like they're in the same conversation.
What?
The woman Miriam is sitting there with her back straight, staring at these guys sitting in front of her, almost like she's in a very tense meeting. The guy directly sitting in front of her is focused on her, but his radio, he's got one of those walkie-talkies. It's buzzing on the table nonstop, where periodically someone will scream street names and signal where the police are headed.
Okay.
They're tracking police and military in the area. That's
Okay.
what she's picking up on. She hears them call the man sitting in front of her by the name of Sama. That's the only reason she even knows his name, is through the radio. Then the last guy, he looks like he's at a buffet. He's not even caring about the 2 of them. He's scarfing down his entire plate of food. And when he's done with his plate, he looks over at Miriam's untouched sandwich. You gonna eat that? She pushes her plate towards him, and he starts taking massive bites out of the sandwich.
Wait,
like it's
hold
gonna...
on, bro. Hungry as hell. Oh my gosh. Wait, if this is... Ooh, hold on. Wait. This is Miss Miriam is definitely the mama, right? Ooh. That would have been one hell of a thing to... Well, I assume she... I don't know. We're going to keep going. That's a crazy visual.
His last meal or something. The guy with the radio, Sama, he leans forward. Your daughter smoke weed or something?
What?
Excuse me? I mean, just how relaxed she is. Just super chill. It's weird. She's been easy to deal with, which is good for us.
What
and
you
not
mean?
freaking out at all.
What do you
like that,
mean?
You know, I like
What do you-
someone who
whoa.
can hold their own.
Whoa, what do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean? What?
That's why I kind of want to let her go. Then let her go. The decision isn't mine, now is it? Sama tells Miriam that he can't just let his kidnappee go without the big boss upstairs giving him the go-ahead.
And they right in front of the mama? What?
But Sama can try to convince the big boss that Miriam's daughter isn't worth killing for a price. $2,000. For $2,000, he's going to make it happen. He's going to convince his boss, let the girl go. We don't need to kill her. Miriam looks down and smiles because she has to play along. But she knows her daughter Karen has been kidnapped by one of the most dangerous cartels in all of Mexico. Nobody gets taken by that cartel and gets out alive. Deep, deep down in her heart, Miriam knows the guys sitting in front of her, the cartel members, They killed her daughter. And deep, deep down in her heart, she knows that she will not stop until she takes every single one of them down for what they did. She is going to take out the cartel for taking down her daughter. This is the story of how a middle-aged mom becomes the most feared woman by one of the most dangerous cartels in all of Mexico.
Bro, what?
Some actually liken this case as the real-life Taken movie.
Cuz.
This is the case of Miriam and Karen Rodriguez.
Well, shout out to Miriam, bro. What the hell? Like, how did, like, the thing about it for me is, like, from my American brain, is like, I'm terrified of the cartel. I'm a little nervous even making this video. And she over here turning this shit into a Taken movie? But, like, not to, like, be so dramatic to, like, you know, soften any type of blows. Like, rest in peace to her daughter. But it's like, yo. Never underestimate a mom, bro. I swear. Oh, my goodness.
We would like to thank today's sponsors who have made it possible for Rotten Mango to support Asylum Access, a nonprofit whose goal is to create a world where displaced people can access their rights and rebuild their lives wherever they find themselves. They have been fighting for refugee rights in Mexico for years and are currently the largest refugee legal aid NGO in the country. This episode's partnerships have also made it possible to support Rotten Mango's growing team, and we would also like to thank you guys for your continued support as we work on our mission to be worthy advocates.
Okay, shout out
As
Stephanie.
always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. We had our wonderful Spanish-speaking researcher help assist in the gathering of the research of this case, but today's case truly would not have been possible without the amazing book written by Azam Ahmed titled Fear is Just a Word, A Missing Daughter, A Violent Cartel, and a Mother's Quest for Vengeance. Not only was the book a wealth of resources for this case, but Azam, the author, diligently included cultural context that I think is such an important aspect of this case.
Okay, I agree.
Not to mention, he conducted interviews and did his own boots on the ground research. So please, if you're interested, please give this book a read. Now, regarding content warnings, today's case involves essay and trafficking as well as strong themes of physical violence. And last but not least, the most crucial disclaimer, there is no other population more affected by the cartels than Mexican civilians. They suffer the consequences and they remain completely innocent. And just like how every Italian person is not part of the mafia and every Japanese person is not part of the Yakuza, for some reason, perhaps due to some of the rhetoric used in mainstream media outlets in the US, there are groups of people out there that like to believe that most Mexican civilians are associated with a cartel member or with the cartel. And to those people, I hope common sense finds you soon.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Just like what's bro name on TikTok, Zevi? Like what does he say? Like knowledge, you're chasing knowledge, but knowledge is faster or something like that. It's like you would think that there's like real common sense that not every Mexican person is a cartel member. That's a really fucked up way to look at people. And also with like as things have been happening in this year and the past year, or actually not even just the past year, for like decades and stuff like that, it's just like, whoa, why? I just can't really get my head around people being, this counts as xenophobia, right? I'd like to be as not stupid sounding as I can. It's like it just all that shit just doesn't make sense. Like you would think it'd be like, yeah, not every Mexican person is like. Sometimes I wish that we should not pay these people no mind, but for some reason in recent years, these same type of people have, it seems like they just have multiplied at the craziest things. So we have to pay attention to these dumbasses. But that's a tidbit. But shout out to Stephanie for being safe. Or for being like as careful as she can be.
Existence of the cartels in Mexico is not a valid reason nor any reason at all to generalize and demonize Mexican people, immigrants, or Mexican Americans. This is also not meant to deter anyone from visiting or vacationing in the beautiful country. We recently went to Mexico. Okay, it wasn't recent, maybe like a year ago. It feels so recent. It's beautiful. And in fact, of course, we encourage everyone to do their own research before traveling anywhere.
My Mexican people,
but tourism can be a positive way to support the economy and support local employment. I also want to acknowledge that the existence of the cartels is due in part due to American consumerism.
Really?
In other words, Americans buy. Crime syndicates need customers, and Americans are the biggest customers of cartels.
That is true. That is true. That is true. That is so true. and it's kind of crazy. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm not as what's it called, um, as like keen on the certain types of things. I do need to do my research on that and stuff like that. But just off the surface, it's like Americans think every Mexican person is a cartel member, not like specifically, but like those type of people who just want to just generalize, but they don't even know that like, as what she just said is a could possibly be a possibility. It's like,
So, with that being said, let's get started. The United States describes Zeta as the most violent, most depraved,
oh,
most feared crime cartel group in all of Mexico. They don't just execute, they torture. Their signature for the Zetas is leaving severed heads on stakes and dissolving bodies in acid.
why?
They call it cooking. They always say, do you want to go cook tonight? It means they want to go dissolve people in acid.
This is probably the craziest intro that she's ever done. Oh my gosh.
They will find a busy bridge and hang their competitors on the bridge one by one. You'll see a row of 10 bodies, bloodied, just evidence of torture and a painful death, and then hung up like, quote, Christmas lights to send a message. The Zetas, they like their kitchen. Okay, so by sanitation standards, it's probably wouldn't even pass a health inspection. It's their sacred kitchen, though. That's what they call them.
What?
They've got kitchens all over the area. Single-story abandoned houses with these giant ovens that they use to incinerate their victims.
Hey, bro.
They cook humans and turn them into ash.
Wait, hold on, gang. I did not even know. Wait, I thought they. Whoa! Oh my gosh! I knew like I heard that some like cartel people get like there's like kind of gruesome with the stuff that they do. I never heard of them cooking people. Okay, gives me some more respect to Miss Miriam if this is the people that she was going after. Oh my gosh.
Outside these kitchens, you will find mounds of gray dirt, human ashes mixed in with fragments of human bones, teeth, and nails. And the Zetas are known for being absolutely brutal. That is what they do. They post videos of their executions on the internet.
Bro, why does...
But the Zeta cartel wasn't even a cartel when they got started. They were actually known as hired guns.
Really?
So the Gulf Cartel was one of Mexico's oldest and most powerful criminal syndicates. At their height, they were earning billions of dollars annually every single year, primarily from the trafficking of cocaine into the United States.
Hey man, listen, when I found out that Pablo Escobar apparently was making $70 million a day, damn. That's all I can just say, damn. Damn.
The more precise estimates are closer to $20 billion a year in annual revenue.
Hey,
this is a different one, you said?
This is the Gulf Cartel. The Zetas were actually part of the Gulf Cartel.
Fool, what?
Now, do you know who else makes around that much money in revenue in a single calendar year?
Who?
In 2023, Nvidia made close to $27 billion in a single year. I mean, they're obviously killing it this year, but still, you're talking about one of the largest tech companies in the world right now. That's their last year annual revenue. And the Gulf Cartel was allegedly bringing in $20 billion a year at one point.
And off of selling that a wham-a-wham. Like, yo. Stuff like this really just makes you just think, like, it's so many different worlds outside of your world in the same world that you're living in. How could you even fathom doing stuff like this? Like, how can you even fathom doing it? And also, it's kind of like making me scared because, like, if you're touching that much money a year, well, I would say with my brain, because I think when you start making billions of dollars, you're gonna have to fuck people over. But in this sense, fucking people over is doing this. That's yeah, that's terrifying. It's very, very terrifying.
Now, to be fair, I don't think it was all going to the Gulf Cartel. They were strong partners with the Cali Cartel from Colombia. But even
Okay.
then, billions of dollars a year, that is a billion targets on their back. That is why the Gulf Cartel creates the Zetas. The Zetas were trained by the United States.
What?
Not like, oh yeah, we modeled our unit after the US military, but they were physically trained by the United States military.
Huh?
To be fair, the US did not wake up one morning and decide, let's go train the cartel members to militarize their violence. That sounds splendid. They didn't do that. The original group that forms the Zetas were originally members of the Mexican Army's elite squad called Air Mobile Special Forces Group. The US and Mexico made this deal where around 400 special forces from the Mexican Army would go train in the US, mainly learning how to use heavy weaponry, machine guns, automatic weapons, as well as learning strategy.
Okay.
They would specifically be trained in urban warfare tactics like close quarters combat, building clearing techniques, extensive training in rifle and pistol marksmanship, training using various explosive devices, as well as sniper training, how to use assault weapons with precision. That's what they're being trained in. Their whole point of their training, ironically, was counter narcotics operations.
Why does this feel like the reverse of when, say, like, the feds find a hacker and then they hire them? Like, yo, what the hell? Like, how does the USA feel about this? Well, that's probably a stupid ass question. But it's like, yo, we just train these people and they're doing. Oh, I saw when the stuff was happening over, I believe it's Mexico. After all that stuff happened, like I saw the outfits of, I don't know fully who it was, but I saw outfits of the people in the videos, and it looked like they were like real live, like not SEAL Team 6. Like it looked like they had like new ODM gear. If I had to like say anything, not trying to like soften the blow or reference I'm referencing Attack on Titan. Like it sounds like it looked like they literally had some new shit where it was like, where did y'all even get this from? Like, how did you acquire this stuff? Cause them uniforms are insane. And then all this stuff that's happening over there, like, yo, oh my gosh.
AKA
Wow.
taking down and going up against the cartels.
So they recruit these members
Yes.
specifically.
Yes. So
Oh, global stuff really be making my head hurt. Oh, I need a crash course video or something. I don't know. I'd like to understand this, but this is so much.
side note, military forces from around the world train at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, so it's not like the most mind-blowing concept that Mexico would send their agents to train there.
Oh,
But
okay.
it does seem like through this training by the US Army, it would be the birth of one of the most violent cartels in Mexico. They're actually credited by a lot of people for starting the violence of cartels. Because back then, cartels were violent amongst each other. But then slowly cartels started being violent with the locals.
Really?
And this is kind of the start of that.
Why?
The leader of the Gulf Cartel at the time, he starts feeling like the rival cartel leaders are going to kill him, which, I mean, yeah, it's a very valid paranoia. They want his very desirable border territory.
Do you know when was it born? The
2010, Zetas.
2010.
that recent?
Yes.
Damn.
So the Gulf Cartel,
Also, this is actually kind of insane. Well, not just like insane. It's I'd say like it's kind of like mind-boggling because like I come from a family of Divine Nine fraternities, so hearing Zetas, it's kind of like fucking with my head. I'm not gonna lie to you.
they control the northeastern border that is bordering the United States. So this is very valuable territory.
Okay.
This is like prime for smuggling. So all the other cartels, they want to take the Gulf territory. That and the Mexican Marines are out there doing similar things as the cartels, not the drug smuggling, but just shooting everyone on sight that appears to be a cartel member. That's what the Marines are doing. And the leader of the Gulf cartel starts getting angsty. He recruits 30 of the special forces agents to be his personal bodyguards.
Okay.
30 of them. He says, leave the Mexican army, bring your US training and come work for me. I will pay you more than the government can even imagine.
Is it really? Quick question. Is it really this? And I'm open to having any type of education in the comments. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am going in this joint blind as hell, so I apologize if my questions seem probably like the most ignorant as I have ever been with my digital footprint, I apologize. I kind of find it hard to believe that this is just like a yo, come work for me. I'm gonna give you a da 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 da. Or is this like one of them joints where it's like it's an offer that you can't refuse? And if that's the case, I could probably understand that. I'm not gonna hold you, because how do you this don't seem like something that would be just like a random email like asking for your request. It seems like there's a lot of factors that may go into this. I'm open to being wrong, but this is wow.
You don't understand how deep the pockets run in the cartels.
Okay.
This sounds a bit more commonplace now, but it was not at the time. This would be the first cartel to really incorporate a paramilitary group into their ranks. The Zetas originally came in a group of 30 former US-based trained special forces agents. They started recruiting more of their former friends and colleagues, and they create this highly trained, highly specialized troop for the Gulf Cartel. They were called the Enforcement Arm. They protect the Gulf Cartel's leaders. They carry out violent operations and assassinations. They secure the cartel's territory and interest and go kill all the enemies that need to be handled.
Okay.
They were highly effective. So prior to this, the Gulf Cartel, they would just train random kids off the street to learn how to point and shoot a gun to protect the cartel's interest. But nothing, no one can go up against specialized training by the U.S. Army along with the military-style discipline. I mean, this is crazy. The Zeta wing is just straight up lethal. There really is no better way to describe them. They go in for the kill and they get it done.
Okay.
Until the Zeta group realizes, if we're the part that makes the Gulf Cartel so special, then why do we need the Gulf Cartel?
What?
It's not even like the Zetas aren't doing all the strategizing. I mean, it would be one thing if they have the firepower, the manpower, and the Gulf Cartel is the brains of the operation. But every hit, every operation, the Zetas are planning that out like a military level job, like a military level sting.
Okay.
So what would be stopping them from starting their own cartel and taking all of the profits? The Zetas split off from the Gulf Cartel. And cartels are not really known for being an easy group to break up with. They're not going to send you nice flowers and send you hope you're doing well text messages. If you
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Stephanie really like softens the blow of how serious some things can like be with her amazing storytelling, honestly. But like, what the fuck? What do you mean you broke off? What do you mean? What do you mean you broke off? Like it sounds like they just had like a campfire meeting and were like, you know what? If we're the arms, how they gonna stop us if we want to do this? Like, this is very interesting, bro.
leave, they're going to try and kill you.
Yeah.
But the newly formed Zeta cartel, they decide, why don't we send a message first?
What do you mean?
We're not scared. In fact, we're going to steal your business. In fact, we're going to steal your territory.
Oh.
And you will be lucky if we don't kill you.
So they
Ain't this called a coup? Ain't this a coup d'etat? Don't this count as a coup d'etat?
split up from the leader, the previous leader.
Yes, from the Gulf Cartel. And they start the Zeta Cartel. March 31st, 2010 is the day Zeta Cartel declares war on the former Gulf Cartel that they were part of. This takes place in San Fernando, Mexico. 4 a.m. Police get a call.
4 a.m.?
Hey, you have to come out quick. There's been an accident on the highway, a big one.
No, it's not.
10 squad cars rush to the scene, and there's a truck that's rolled over on its side, and there's nobody else. There's one truck driver, one rolled truck. He seems like he fell asleep at the wheel. He's refusing to go to the hospital. It's just, the whole thing is odd. More lights suddenly come speeding down the highway. Firefighters. They were also called to the scene.
Okay.
They said, massive accident. You need to get down here real quick.
Oh my gosh.
It's just one
Is it
truck
an ambush?
flipped over. Once all the authorities are there, it kind of feels like an overkill situation. One truck, the truck driver isn't even badly injured, and they have everyone out here on the highway in the middle of the night.
But why?
The highway isn't even loud.
Wait,
Something's
whoa.
going on somewhere else.
It's almost silent.
What you mean?
And it's a known thing in San Fernando. You typically don't drive around at night unless you absolutely must. It's the life of living in a cartel-controlled area.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
it was controlled by the Gulf Cartel at the time. Okay, all right then, let's pack it up. The cops are like, we gotta go. Let's keep it moving. The police, the firefighters, they're all...
Talking about we gotta go. Y'all said 10 trucks? Oh, y'all said 10 of them? Why y'all sending the people? Why y'all sending them cars?
Getting ready to leave when they start feeling a vibration,
What does that
a
mean?
rumbling.
A rumbling?
What the hell is that? They freeze, they look up, and on the other side of the highway, they see a scene that looks straight out of an apocalyptic movie.
What
there
do you
are rows
mean?
of modified vehicles, giant trucks with tires that are taller than them, trailers, giant SUVs, a freaking school bus with a gun mount on top, and all of them are spray painted with a Z on the side. And
Hey Slim, I'm not gonna lie to you. No. My brain can't even fathom anything like this happening. Like I think of myself of having like some crazy things happening to me in my life, but this would not have ever been on my bingo card. Like a school bus with a turret on top. Like, what do you do in this situation? Like, honestly, what do you do in this situation? What do you do in this situation, bro? There's a lot of things that I'm like nervous about like stuff in terms of like real life and a bunch of stuff happening. This would be the last thing that I would even think would happen. What do you do in this situation?
all of them have assault rifles on top of their vehicles.
Oh!
Makeshift tanks. A whole squad of them.
Fuck you mean you made a tank? What do you mean you made a tank? You made a huh?
Rows and rows of them driving down the highway like they're about to go into war.
Okay, go that way.
It's a setup.
Wait, are they coming for the cops?
They're coming for the town.
What?
The whole town.
Why?
Police start rushing to their radios warning.
What the town do? Why? What the fuck did they do?
Everyone, they jump into their cars, some into the nearby woods. They're like, I'm abandoning this. Like, I'm leaving. I'm not taking my car. They're shooting at us. They're shooting at us. Everybody come. Like, we gotta leave.
Fool,
The bastards
what
are
the
coming from all
hell?
the sides. As the makeshift tanks are driving past the police, they're just firing. It seems like they have no care for wasting bullets, ammunition. They're just firing at everything that they come in contact with. From 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. for the next 6 hours, the Zetas go block to block in San Fernando, firing into every single public building they could find. They do not fire into residential buildings.
What type of statement? Why is this going? I'm assuming this is just to put fear that we gon' if y'all don't like. I'm assuming, I could be wrong. Y'all firing into public buildings and stuff, like y'all just telling like if y'all fuck with us or if y'all don't play game, we gonna do this. Like this is terrifying.
They do not fire into hospitals. But
Okay.
everything else, the courthouses, the police stations, the DMV, things like that, the buildings, they look like Swiss cheese by the next morning. And the message is very clear. The Gulf Cartel is no longer in charge. The Zetas are.
But
When the San Fernando residents walk out the next morning, some of the bullet casings left all over the street are still hot. The mass firing of the bullets was chaotic and unhinged. Nobody slept a single minute last night. And by the way, they systematically came into this town and targeted every single public building. It felt like they were trying to send a message because they did not kill a single person. The Zetas
oh shit. Oh. See, this is why I'm saying I'm scared. Like y'all firing bullets and stuff for 6 hours and y'all were strategic to not kill a single person. I ain't gonna hold you. That's a little bit more scarier than well, no, actually, no, it's not a little bit more scarier. It would make me think like, wait, hold on. Whoa. What?
Zeta armored trucks came, split up, took down different roads. It was very organized, like a military operation, like a military taking over an enemy's town and trying not to kill the population. It's almost forcing submission.
Yeah. That is crazy. No one was killed.
Nobody was even
Well, thank
seriously
the-
injured.
thank the
So
Lord.
it's not that the Zetas tried to kill people and failed. It's they intentionally did not want to kill anyone. It's like they're just here to send a message. But what does that message mean? Does that mean that they want to get on the good side of the locals? They don't know. And that hope is very quickly crushed because the Gulf Cartel, they're not going to easily give up their territory like that. They start fighting back, and within a week, all hell breaks loose in San Fernando.
Bro.
Car bombs are exploding every 2 seconds. Buildings are being lit on fire. The cartel members start stealing every big SUV from the dealership, just walking into the lot with rifles, assault rifles, stealing all the SUVs to put gun mounts on top to create basically tanks. A full-on war breaks out between the Gulf Cartel and the newly formed Zeta Cartel, and every single civilian in that area would be collateral in a war that they have no skin in the game in.
That's so fucked up. That is so fucked up, bro. What the hell? That's so fucked up. Oh my gosh.
So a lot of people died?
A lot of people, tens of thousands of people, yeah.
Yo!
Tens of thousands?
So the number in San Fernando is kind of up in the air. A lot of people don't report when their loved ones go missing, and you'll see why soon. But the war on drugs and the cartel violence wars have, in the span of like a few years, I think in 1 year alone, it was like 60,000 people died. Innocent civilians, a lot.
I never knew this. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't know. I didn't know. For me, it's like so. For me, I want to ask, like, what is the point, bro? Like, honestly, like, what is the point? And I feel like my next question would be very insensitive, so I'm not gonna ask it. So I just want to ask again, like, if y'all don't care about 60,000 civilians dying, oh, bro, I never heard no shit like this before. I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh my gosh, 60,000 people, and they're just like collateral damage. Is this not crazy?
Of them. So like I said, nobody is more negatively impacted by the cartels than Mexican civilians.
My heart goes out
that
to
are
them.
all innocent.
What the fuck?
Now, when the Zetas take over the town, they wanted the people to fear them, but not despise them. And then the Zetas soon realized it doesn't really matter what the residents feel about the cartels.
What?
As long as they feared them. Because fear is the biggest thing that they can have. It's the most powerful emotion. So the Zetas, they started implanting a new way of operating. Murder is now the message. That's how they operate.
Bro,
psychological warfare. That's how they rule the territory. And
this is a lot. This is a lot.
if anyone wants to start their own cartel, this is their enemy. If the Gulf Cartel wants to wage another war against the Zetas, this is their enemy. The Sinaloa Cartel, most notably run by El Chapo, that is rivals with the Zetas.
Really?
This is their enemy.
Oh.
And you do not want the Zetas as your enemy.
Yeah, I don't. No, I didn't want nobody as my enemy, but especially not them. Good Lord. Like, what the hell?
Don't get me wrong. The Zetas, they were violent from the get-go. There is no denying that. But it is stated that locals believe that they would still operate similarly as before. They believed, okay, even if the Zetas break off from the Gulf Cartel, they're going to viciously fight the Gulf Cartel. They're going to viciously fight any other cartel that tries to sneak up on their territory and their smuggling routes. They're going to decimate them with no mercy, and there might be some collateral damage of
I ain't gonna lie to you.
innocent lives taken.
I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of understand why people want to come to America, or just like try to flee what's going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. First off, this country is full of, or built on the backs of, black folks and immigrants. I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna have that type of energy. Like, oh, go back to your bro. Some empathy, especially if there are immigrants, people or who are migrating from or fleeing from countries, and they come over to this country to literally like be a model citizen and be a regular person, get a job, have a family. I mean, it's just like, what the, like, damn, like, y'all don't care? like people like it, and honestly, it could be a very ignorant thing that I'm saying, but I don't know. My humanity is like really, or empathy is really like getting to me, cause especially after like finding out some of like the hardships it is to even get accepted with documentation to come over here. It's like I saw this TikTok video of this lady getting her I believe she got like all the stuff that she needed to get her documents, and her family literally had like a USA themed type of joint. Like shawty dressed up as like the Statue of Liberty, somebody else dressed up as somebody else. I was like, bro, I almost teared up. Actually, I think I did tear up. Like, bro, that is beautiful. People are literally trying to come over here and just be good people. These are good people, bro. These are good people. Like, one thing that I don't understand, and honestly, for me, I grew up around immigrants and like people who, I don't know how to say this correctly, but like the people that they're going through trying to detain and stuff like that. I grew up around these people. They're good people. They're good fucking people, bro. Good, nice fucking people. And they're acting like they're acting a damn fool over here and stuff like this. Like, come on, bro. Nah, man, come on, bro. Nah, that's not cool, bro. And again, like I'm saying, obviously, I may sound ignorant, but to me, it's like if I'm leaving a place where I have no business of what's going on here, and they don't give a fuck if I die, they don't give a fuck if the toll is up $60,000. Fool, I'm not finna be mad as shit that they came over here and literally are helping out the quality of life of people who fucking live here. That's the thing that's pissing me off. That's the thing that's pissed me off. These people who are mad racist, mad all these other things, indulge in the same fucking culture. That's the type of shit that be pissing me off, because like oh my gosh. Let me stop. This nah, bro. Like these people be talking about some oh, you in America speaking English. You know, I really would like me a taco from that Mexican spot. You know what I'm saying? They make good food. Like, bro, that does you that that hypocrisy really pisses me off, because you can keep your fucking mouth shut. You can keep your fucking mouth shut. Just people being just mean and crass and nasty to people who are literally trying to just provide a good, honest life. And it's something that you indulge in. Man, I'm about to say something that's probably not going to be taken well, but I don't care. Okay? At this moment, I don't care right now. All right? Shit. People over here talking about some, bro, people over here talking about some, they want these people to go back to their country and stuff. Now, if we look at the Turning Point USA halftime show versus Bad Bunny's halftime show, which one would you rather like? Like, just to keep it on a surface, ancillary level. Especially if America is a melting pot of people. And also they came over and took the land from, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, the entitlement is frying me. It's really frying me, bro. It's really frying me. I don't. Let's keep going. I'm sorry. This isn't even about that. I just had a tangent. I apologize.
But they never thought innocent people would become the target.
Hey man, shout out to my immigrant people. Shout out to my migrant people, especially the people who literally are just trying to be good people, not bothering nobody. Literally trying to go through the system that honestly is probably fucked from the start. First, fuck of all, you're trying to do all this stuff. I heard it could take up to like what 20 years of getting the proper stuff. Imagine trying to just do good. Like, imagine trying to do good, and some motherfucker gets into office and just like, you know what, we packing all y'all up. I don't even give a damn if you got papers. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck, bro? This. Ugh. Sorry. I said sorry before. I'll say sorry again. Let's keep going.
Target of the Zetas. Innocent civilians that have nothing to do with the cartel world. Why would the Zetas target them? What would they want from them? The problem starts because there are only so many former special forces that you can recruit from.
Okay.
It's a numbers game. Eventually you run out. The ones that don't join a cartel are ruled out. The ones that already joined a cartel are ruled out. The ones that died from being in a cartel are ruled out. There's not an endless supply of well-trained special forces agents. But you can't run a criminal enterprise without manpower. So if the Zetas have 100 former special forces, no matter how good they are, they can't go up against 2,000 untrained, heavily armed rival cartel members. The Zetas have no choice but to start recruiting inexperienced guys off the street. Their recruits keep getting younger and deadlier. There was one time the Mexican army went and wiped out a whole Zeta training camp. They have training camps.
Stephanie, what the fuck you just say to me?
Guys off the street. Their recruits keep getting younger and deadlier. There was one time the Mexican army went and wiped out a whole Zeta training camp. They have training camps. And the authorities started getting concerned because they went in afterwards to see the damage. They found this little girl, maybe 13, laying amongst the dead, and they thought, we messed up. We killed someone that's not part of the cartel. Which, side note, the army's method of just wiping out any cartel member is already quite controversial, but
yeah, what?
They went in and thought, oh no, we killed a girl that's not part of the cartel.
You know, the thing about, like, okay, here's one thing I do need to say, or feel like I need to say. It's the... There's something about, like, humans that, like, kind of, like, boggle my mind because I've never crossed that line of taking somebody's life. I feel like, and this is different from people who say, like, what we're doing over in other countries and committing war crimes when we commit war crimes. Or I'm saying we as in the United States, I ain't commit no fucking war crimes, but like there's a certain type of there's two different types of people that probably speak about killing somebody, about like taking another human's life, that honestly it's like you can't really differentiate. Like, you know how like some people say like, oh, people who go over to other countries just kill random civilians, and then they'll say like, well, that civilian had a gun pointed at me, it was either me or them. That was your justification as to why you did it. Okay, who's to say somebody who breaks into your house on your turf, American to American, you kill them because you're trying to protect your house? Then there's other people who are like, we're doing all this because, oh, we got our gas prices like this, so what we did is justified. Like, it's just like the thought process of people being okay with killing other people always makes me think, because everything seems so like, well, until it happens to you. It happens in your backyard, or it happens in your 6 degrees of separation, or your orbit of people. And just like sometimes to me, it like, regardless if say like, oh, my gas is $3.50. If my gas is, bro, I'm just saying like, bro, gas prices is not going to be a thing that I would make a justification for my country, who I have no control over, to go over to another country and just pretty much just just like press on colonialism and imperialism. Like, that's like, I'm not that type of person to be like, damn, cuz I'm so happy that my gas prices is $2.50. Niggas don't even care that gas is that low. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. If you need gas, you're gonna get gas. You gonna bitch and moan about it that is probably faux something. Some of the people that be bitching and moaning about it don't even know what the type of stuff that has to go over there, so they don't even care. But it's just like people who are so okay with just people dying and stuff, and literally watching these people pleading for their lives. And like, bro, please help. Like, yo, what the fuck? And for the people who say that they're okay with all this like shit going on, it's just like, oh, you are so comfortable in your cushy life that you just don't give a fuck. Like, it don't make you wince a little bit. Like, oh shit, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, this is what's going on over here. This is why my eggs is $6 and not 12. Like, that don't make you feel no type of oh my gosh. And seeing how like people on the side of, the tangerine motherfucker, it's just like, damn, y'all don't give a fuck. I mean, shit, they don't give a fuck about black kids dying. They don't even give a fuck about the kids in schools dying. They don't give a fuck. And the thing is, it's just like, yo, like, I'm sitting here just looking like, and I can't really say it, but it's like, what would happen if I just point a gun to your face and just give you a leg shot? Are you gonna be that adamant on that we need to go over there and do what we need to do? Like, are you gonna be that adamant when I give you a taste of the shit that's going on over there? And I'm not like I'm not like asking for like the utmost part of empathy. I'm talking about surface level empathy. Seeing somebody in another country going through shit and not giving a fuck. Bro, people are different, bro. People are different, bro. People is different, bro. This right here that's going on with these cartels, this is some different shit, bro. Fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. At this point, it's like I sometimes I encounter YNs and stuff like that. They say, oh, people are afraid of YNs and stuff like that. Bro, imagine having to go through YNs in that country that are on that type of timing. I would not be mad if you're trying to come over to another country. Especially if you're trying to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
She was. The little 13-year-old girl was a female assassin that had been working for the Zetas for more than a year.
Oh my gosh.
Ever since the rival cartel, the Gulf Cartel, had killed her dad. The Zetas had recruited her.
And imagine looking at, this is the shit. Oh my gosh. Imagine just looking at her and being like, well, she a part of this group, not even knowing that she probably was forced to come to this group. She was probably forced to do this. And this is where the shit just like, it just shuts off. And it's like, you know what? People be acting like some people have a choice in certain types of things. Like, yeah, maybe on like a surface, the biggest surface level of things, yeah, you do have a choice. But once you're like faced with somebody probably killing you, like, I'm pretty sure like you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody is thorough, bro. Not everybody is that thorough for real. Not everybody is that thorough for real. Like it's just like, bro, this is a girl. This is a little girl, cuz. This is a little girl. Damn, bro, that shit breaks my heart. Oh my gosh.
Sometimes the Zetas would recruit people that they would just give them no choice but to join the Zetas.
That's what I'm saying.
They would recruit young people and they would practically force them. There is a saying that is heavily used in the cartel world by Pablo Escobar, and he would usually say it to politicians. It's plato or plomo. It translates to silver or lead, meaning as a politician, do you want to take the silver? AKA, do you want to take the money and do as I say? Or do you want to take the lead in the form of a bullet?
I remember something like that being said when I was younger, when I learned about Pablo Escobar. Oh my gosh. That's what I'm saying. It's the offer that you can't refuse.
Do you want to be killed? Those are your two choices. The Zetas turned it into silver or steel. Either take the money and join the Zetas, or the Zetas had an affinity for decapitating people with chainsaws.
And to anybody who thinks they so big and bad to refuse that, or just like, I just want to let you know, if anybody, y'all seen Scarface? Y'all saw the scene where Tony went into the that hotel or something, and his friend got like chainsawed in the head. If you say that to somebody, if you say that to somebody who is like young, just like imagine their thought process. And I'm talking to the people who clutch their pearls where they see a regular black man just standing minding his business. That's the type of person I'm talking to. The type of person that's just afraid of people just off of just because you just have this preconceived notion for some fucking reason. Like, yo, like, what would happen if I give you that? What would happen if I give you that, what's the word? That type of ultimatum? You wouldn't like that. This is fucked up. This is really fucked up. And I feel like I feel like I'm doing a disservice saying like I didn't even know it gets this bad. This is fucked up.
Steel chainsaws.
What
They
the
wouldn't even use
fuck?
bullets. Bullets were for efficiency and chainsaws were for fun, and the Zetas liked to have fun.
Cuz.
These are the new recruits in Zeta, and to keep them happy, the Zeta leaders told the new cells or the arms or divisions of their cartel that they can do whatever the hell they want as long as you don't touch oil and drug smuggling.
Oh.
Everything else, human trafficking, go at it. Earn your money that way so the leadership doesn't have to spend so much on overhead funding the employees. They're given a free-for-all. Now, depending on the leadership of cartels, it is theorized by people who study cartels that the tighter the leadership is at the top, the slightly less violent the cartel is to civilians.
Really?
I mean, obviously depending on the cartel and the leader, but typically if the leadership has a tight rein on the members, then it's much harder for people to step out of line. And usually the leaders, if they have a tight rein, they tend to be a little smarter, and I'm not saying smarter equates to anything. They're all morally corrupt, but they tend to not want to get on the locals' bad side for no reason.
Right.
So they get very upset with their members if they mess with the locals for no reason.
Right.
Now, this was a free-for-all for these heavily armed, money-hungry, violent, sadistic new members of the Zetas. They start going into town, forcing business owners to pay them money for
You know, I'm gonna be honest with, sorry, Stephanie.
protection.
I just wanna, I guess, ask a question because this is also something that I've been thinking about as I'm like getting older, and as somebody who is, not to say like I'm like fascinated with this type of stuff. It's just like finding out about the beginning of gangs in America. When was the switch where you don't kill women and children? When was that switch? When did that switch happen? And what happened when that switch happened? And I'm not trying to like so please don't do this. I'm not trying to like compare gangs in America to cartel members. But like if there's like a set leadership type of thing saying like, bro, we don't do this, we don't do X, Y, and Z. I'm like slightly interested on what happened when some people were just like, you know what? Fuck y'all rules. We're just gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Like it was literally a rule, like no women and children. We don't do, not we, but that don't happen. You protect the women and children. When the fuck did when that switch happened? And I'm saying this like kind of like facetiously because I'm kind of like scared to find out. I probably do my Googles about that, but it's just like the thing, like, why are y'all fucking with locals, gang? Like, you actually told me, but you don't want to get on their bad side, bro. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Essentially racketeering. They blatantly steal from businesses, car dealerships, even from small mom and pop businesses. Whatever they want, they get it. In the beginning, if someone said no, they were brutally killed on sight.
Bro.
And very quickly, civilians knew that saying no is not an option here. Even looking at Zeta's wrong on the street was a death wish. You're signing your death certificate.
Bro, what the fuck?
A U.S.
dude?
judge stated about a Zeta high-ranking hitman that was later tried in the U.S. They said about the culture of the Zetas. Without mercy, without thought, they brutally murder anyone and everyone as it suits them and the cartel, at times inflicting the cruelest of pain, forcing relatives to watch their loved ones murdered before he turns his blades on them.
All right,
Other
bro,
cartels
like,
have
what?
straight up accused them of not following the gentleman's code of conduct when it comes to drug trafficking. And at one time, it was considered bad form for the cartel members to kill pregnant women. But not anymore after the Zetas.
What the fuck?
In one incident, a hitman for the Zetas dismembered a young girl with an axe while she was alive and lit her body on fire in front of her parents.
You know what? I would say I got the message, Stephanie. Can we get to the mama? Please. I don't know if I could take more of this. This is insane. Like, I get the message. We gonna hear more of the message, but I get the message.
It said that he did this while laughing and shrugged at the parents and said, "So this is you'll remember me."
So this is you all remember me?
Meaning,
You know, there's like a certain type of thing that freezes you up when you experience evil. Like, there's like a certain sinister type of thing that just like puts your body into shock where you just experience evil personified right in your face. I oh my gosh.
don't forget me, because now you remember me because I dismembered your daughter in front of you. Then he dragged the mom up to kill her the exact same way while forcing the dad to watch. I'm assuming the dad was the target. This is what the Zetas are doing. Miriam, a regular civilian in San Fernando, a middle-aged mom, is looking for the florist. It's not exactly how she imagined her early morning to be going. She's still in her pajamas. She's got a trench coat thrown on top, a baseball cap. She just looks like she rolled out of bed and was summoned by somebody to run this errand.
Bro, what?
She never even liked flowers to begin with. They remind her of funerals and death, and now she's weaving through the streets trying to go through the vendors that are trying to sell you water and snacks to look for the freaking florist. Most people in town don't even know the florist's real name. They just call him the florist because ever since he was a kid, he would just sell flowers on the street.
Oh,
He'd be
okay.
standing on the corner, holding a few stems of flowers, looking very hungry. If it was a marketing tactic, it was definitely working.
Oh.
Anytime Miriam would make a big dinner, she was known for this, she would call all the kids in the area that looked like they could use a warm meal, and she would call them over, and the florist was usually on that guest list.
Oh nah,
It's
Miriam
clear
real,
that nobody was
bro.
taking care of him.
Oh.
That is Miriam's very first and most consistent memory of the florist. But it's interesting because he was just always in Miriam's life. Not really ever in her life, but just a side character that never fully went away. He was just always kind of there. Even later, when Miriam's youngest daughter, Karen, starts getting older, the florist would chase her down and try to give her flowers for free. And side note, they're around the same age, so it's not like this middle-aged florist
okay.
man chasing down a 17-year-old.
Okay.
Karen has this very bright, light-colored blonde hair, and she has a, quote,
she's pretty.
rosy complexion. And so a lot of people said it made her stand out in the area, and a lot of guys were interested in her, and I guess
sure.
including the florist. But Karen would nicely reject the florist, offer him $1 or $2, knowing that he wasn't doing well, and then walk back to school.
Okay.
Karen was always very sweet with the florist. That's what Miriam is thinking about when she sees him down the walkway. There he is, the florist. She starts running up to him and then tackles him on the ground.
What?
She pulls out a loaded pistol from her trench coat jacket.
Hey, bro, I ain't gonna lie, Miriam badass. Oh shit. Oh, I was not expecting that. Okay.
Jams it into his back and whispers into the florist's ear, "If you move, I will fucking shoot you." She also knew the florist was now part of the Zeta cartel. He was part
Oh.
of the cell that kidnapped and killed her daughter, Karen.
Oh. Well, he probably saw this coming, right?
She jams the gun deeper into the skin of his back, but she doesn't need to. He knows she will shoot if he moves, because this is not Miriam's first cartel takedown. The florist is her 11th target.
11th? She killed 10 of them niggas? What the fuck? Well, I mean, it said in the title, I forgot. 11?
For him, there were 10. 4 are now in prison and 6 are now dead.
Oh.
The florist was about to be dead too, if he doesn't do as Miriam says.
But Miriam took care of him, right?
Took care of him, he's arrested.
Oh.
No, I'm saying like Miriam was like giving him food.
Yes, when he was younger. January 24th.
Oh, well then damn. Like if you, what the fuck? Yeah, you gonna have a gun in your back. What the hell?
2014.
You can put it in your mouth.
A couple wake up in their home in Texas. It's very quiet, perhaps a little too quiet. They make their way downstairs, and on the kitchen table is a note. Whoever wrote it, they didn't take the time to make it neat or even to explain what the note is about.
That's fucking
It just
rude.
reads along the lines of, "Sorry, I'm never coming back. Something awful has happened."
What?
The couple glance at each other and they run to their son's room. They slam open their door and their 10-year-old son is laying in bed, sleeping peacefully.
Okay.
What? Why would their nanny just leave? I mean, they had gotten along so well with her. She was slowly becoming part of the family, and their son absolutely adored her. They thought that she was enjoying the position, too. She never complained about her job, so why would she just up and leave? Miriam did not have time to explain. She didn't have time to sit there and tell the couple that she worked for that
okay.
at 4 a.m. she got a call from her eldest daughter, Azalea. Miriam shoots up in bed. "What's wrong? What happened?" "Mom, something awful happened." "With your husband, Ernesto?" No. Azalea starts sobbing. "Just tell me." Something awful happened to Karen.
What the fuck?
Miriam was already packing her bags by this point. She scribbles down a note, tosses it on the counter, starts running out the door. She jumps onto a bus from Texas heading into San Fernando. It's going to take at least 2 hours. That's on top of the time that she already had to wait for the bus. And Miriam is overwhelmed with anxiety right now. So what is she supposed to do for the next 2 hours on this bus?
This is
She
so
sits on the
scary.
very back row and starts silently sobbing. A few people on the bus, they try to comfort her. One of the older men hands her his handkerchief. "Are you all right, ma'am?" "My daughter has been kidnapped by the Zeta cartel." The man just nods, because by now, most of the locals know the Zeta cartels have been kidnapping innocent people.
Bro, they went into Texas? Oh my gosh.
He looks down and he slowly pulls out a piece of paper from his pocket, grabs a pen, and jots a few things down. "Call my son. My son is a lieutenant in the Mexican Marines." Miriam thanks him and goes back to sobbing in her seat.
Okay.
She got the call from Azalea about Karen being kidnapped at 4 a.m. By 8 a.m., she's back in San Fernando.
Shit.
Fill me in. Tell me everything that's happened. Azalea's a mess. "I heard something near the door in the middle of the night, so I got up from my sleep. I started walking towards the front door, and I saw Dad." This isn't the most alarming thing until you realize that Azalea and her dad are somewhat estranged. They haven't spoken to each other in the past 2 years.
Why the fuck is he right there?
And suddenly he's at her doorstep in the middle of the night. She opens the door. He looks very disheveled. And I don't know if it's sister intuition or what, but Azalea just blurts out, "Karen?" Her dad is stepping into the house when his phone starts ringing. They rush inside, close the door, pick up the phone, and put it on speaker.
Okay.
It's a man's voice.
Ooh.
"Luis, by now you know we have your daughter. I've discussed it with the group, and after much consideration, we've decided the ransom to get your daughter Karen back is going to be $77,000.
How the fuck do you even know I have this? What?
USD?
USD.
USD?
Before they can respond, they hear Karen's voice. "Dad, please, they just want the money. It's not about anything else. If you pay, they'll let me go. If not, I guess this is goodbye."
Oh my
Azalea would later
gosh.
say it felt like something in her sister's voice sounded very unsure. Like she wasn't positive that her dad was willing to pay the money to save her. And before they can even respond to that, the caller hangs up.
What?
$77,000. The average salary in Mexico in a year is around $12,000 to $15,000. They're asking for $77,000.
Do they know that he got that or something? Ain't that like 6 times the? That's more than six. No, that's 6 times the average salary. Oh my gosh.
By 3 p.m. the next day, in the next
Damn!
12 hours, they have to come up with $77,000. Nobody slept all night.
What the fuck?
When 8 a.m. rolls around, Louise, their father, is getting ready. He puts on his best clothes. He showers, shaves, slicks back his hair. He needs to look as good as possible for this.
Why?
He starts practicing in his head what he's going to say when he walks into the bank.
Oh.
Hi, I would like to get a loan for my business.
Oh no.
By 10 a.m., the family have combined all of their funds, their entire life savings, the loan from the bank that they just got, any other valuable goods they could sell for cash. All of it amounted to less than $10,000. A seventh of what they're asking for. Louise was to drop off the money at a local health center, and Miriam parked so that she could see the handoff, but the cartel couldn't see her. They wait for 2 hours, and this man, honestly, boy, walks up. He looks like a teenager. He's young, he's skinny. He grabs the bag of cash, but Louise doesn't let go. My daughter, meet her at the cemetery in 20 minutes.
What do you mean meet her at the cemetery? Yo, this is a lot. Oh my gosh.
And with that, the boy runs off with the bag of cash. He jumps into this cherry red Ford Explorer and they speed off. Okay, that's okay.
The cemetery? What cemetery?
You're going to be reunited with Karen. Money is just money. They're going to have Karen and everything's going to be okay. And they drive over to the cemetery and they just wait and wait and wait and nothing. The next morning, they get a call. The kidnappers, the cartel. They assure the family, everything's fine. We just didn't want to go out in the rain yesterday. Which is technically true. The minute that they got to the cemetery, there was a storm. Some streets in San Fernando were even...
Bro, I don't care. Where my daughter at?
...and briefly flooding. So, yeah, I mean, it all tracks. But the whole next day, the family are sitting there anxiously waiting for another drop-off location, but it never comes.
Bro.
I mean, I think all of them had this small fear in their minds, but everybody held on to the hope. The kidnappers just want the money. We paid the money. There's no reason for them to kill Karen. The next day, the kidnappers break into Miriam's house where she lives with Karen.
What the fuck?
Obviously, Miriam wasn't there at the time. She was staying with Azalea, her other daughter. But the cartel break into her house, go through Karen's things, which is a good sign, right? I mean, they're grabbing clothes for her, which means she's coming back. They're just robbing her. Maybe they wanted a little more goods.
Stephanie, don't.
But that day, after breaking into the house, they call the family back. We need more money. The family just stare at the phone.
Nigga, I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it.
How on earth do you think we have more money? Ransoms are very tricky. If you pay too quickly, on one hand, you do that because you want to ensure the safety of your loved one as quickly as possible. But on the other hand, if you pay money too quickly, the kidnappers might think that they lowballed you and you have way more money than that. And if you can easily whip up $10,000, you can easily whip up another $10,000. But they truly, the family, they do not have more money. Miriam ends up borrowing from everybody she can think of and gives the kidnappers another $2,000. By this point, the hope is still there. They had truly given everything. The kidnappers, surely, the cartel know that they're organized crime. They know how money works. They know how much money families in Mexico have, or rather don't have in this situation. This should be enough to get Karen back. Within a month, with Karen still gone, that hope starts dying off.
A month?
Nobody in the family really says it ever. They all still talk as if Karen's gonna walk in through the front door any second now, but nobody actually believes it anymore. Even Miriam, who was the backbone of the entire family, the one that holds faith and hope longer than anybody else, even Miriam is starting to lose hope. By the end of the month, Karen is still not back, and Miriam is falling into a depressive state. Obviously for her missing daughter, which I don't think we can really put into words, but even beyond that, it's like the whole situation breaks every concept of life that Miriam thought she knew. She thought as long as her kids stay out of trouble, keep their head down, don't go out alone at night, they would be untouched by the cartel violence. That's how Miriam grew up. The cartels would leave innocent uninvolved. They would leave them alone.
Bro, that was
She would
old
tell her kids
rules,
all day, every day,
bro.
keep your head down, mind your own business, don't talk back, and don't go out at night. Which even just telling them that made her inside so angry. Miriam is the opposite of that. She is never shy to share her thoughts or get into these loud, heated arguments to defend whatever she thinks is the correct answer. And Miriam tricked herself to think that they lived in this bubble. She thought only the rich get kidnapped for ransom. Only the cartel members get killed in turf wars. Only the slightly guilty, somewhat involved go missing.
Bro, that's so heartbreaking, gang. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is so sad, bro. Like, oh my gosh.
They don't just take random innocent people. It doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense. It's not the way the world works, right? You're supposed to be a good person. If you abide by the rules, nothing that bad happens to you. I mean, obviously you experience hardships and challenges, but you're not going to get kidnapped by the cartels.
Bro.
Because what would they want to do with you? Isn't that the unspoken agreement? Everyone could just see Miriam's decline. Miriam was someone who took a lot of care in her makeup and clothing choices. She hadn't put on makeup in the past month. She rarely ever changed out of her pajamas. She spent all day laying there scrolling on her phone, trying to think of ways to get Karen back, think of possibilities of where she might be. And so for a month, Miriam grieved. She did nothing else but just wallow in fear for Karen, grief for her family and how they're going to handle this, and then just self-pity for herself. She is spiraling. Until February 23rd, 2014, 1 month after Karen has vanished. Miriam gets up, takes a bath, sits down in front of a mirror, and brushes her hair out for the first time. She puts on a full face of makeup, walks back downstairs, almost shocking her daughter Azalea. "Mom, are you going somewhere?" "They're not bringing Karen back to me. I know this in my heart as a mother. Karen is dead." There was no self-pity or grief in her voice, just determination. For the rest of my life, with the time that I have left, I'm gonna find the people who did this to my daughter.
I respect it. I respect it. Oh, that had to have been, obviously that's like a hell that she had to go through. Bro, I respect it. Shout out to Miriam. I respect it. Oh, at this point, something gotta happen. Something gotta happen.
And I'm going to make them pay.
Hey, man.
Miriam got into her truck that day, and Azalea would say her mom was never the same after that. Because that was the day she decided Karen is dead, and soon her killers will be dead too if Miriam had anything to do with it.
Hey man, listen. I do talk about like a when people have like that fuck it moment, but I never really said like that fuck it moment is like a spectrum to where, you know what? They gotta go. They're gonna be the one to do it. Hey man, shit.
But first, she needs to find out what happened to her little girl, to find out who needs to pay. But even that's going to be hard. The Zetas never have a reason for kidnapping someone. It's just what they do now. The city of San Fernando has a curfew. It's not just for teenagers or minors to get home by a certain time or else. It's for every single resident. Get home by 5 p.m. if you know what's good for you.
Damn.
If you have an emergency that you need to go outside after dark, really think, really weigh out the benefits. Is it worth the risk? Even trips to the hospital or pharmacy at night.
What?
Will you survive until the morning?
What?
Yeah? Then maybe you should wait until then.
My gosh.
Because as much as the Zetas are violent, they are a deeply paranoid group, which makes sense because their come up is betraying the cartel that they used to work with and creating their own division and taking over the original territory of the original cartel.
You know, the thing that's kind of like frying my brain right now is like, yeah, this is pretty optional. I mean, well, everything in that situation is optional, but it's just like the stuff that be like killing me is when people do stuff and they just say like, you know what? I know what I did is probably bad, but right now we're in this moment, so I need to worry about this moment. It's like, yeah, you're paranoid because of what happened. I mean, yeah, I can understand why you're paranoid.
Not only are they paranoid that the original cartel, the Gulf Cartel, is going to come back and take vengeance on them, they're also concerned that other cartels, the Sinaloa cartel, is going to take their territory. But they're also concerned that other factions are going to break off from the Zetas and start their own cartel.
Man, what the hell did we y'all do this shit for then?
So they've created a curfew. Anybody driving at night would likely be stopped by Zeta patrols with assault rifles. They act like they own the town. I mean, they do. More often than not, if you're a young man, they will just assume that you're part of a cartel. And if you're not someone that they're familiar with, then in their minds, you're part of the other cartels, which means you're the enemy and you need to die.
What the fuck?
If you're not a young man, they could still be thinking that you're working for the other cartels. Or you could be up to no good. Maybe you're selling drugs on the side. You're not allowed to do that. This is their territory.
What the fuck? What if I just want to go to the store? This is insane. This is crazy.
Or maybe they just like your car. Or maybe they think that you'd be a good sex trafficking victim. Or maybe they think that they should kidnap you and ransom you. There really is no reason on why they kidnap anybody.
What the hell?
Zeta just has a habit of kidnapping locals and forcing their families to pay hefty ransoms to get their loved ones back. Innocent civilians that have nothing to do with the cartels. So back then, when Miriam was growing up, cartels were just cartels. They smuggle drugs, they make obscene amounts of money, they drive luxury cars, and they host these parties.
Bro, that's what I thought that's what they were like now. I did not know nothing about this. I'm going to be honest with you. I just thought that they would just get like some new threads and look like military police. I did not know that they did this. This is crazy that I'm finding this out now. But this is very insane.
I would say it's safe to say most Mexican citizens now definitely hate the cartels. But back then, even when the cartels were doing their own thing, they didn't like the cartels. But even if the police and the government can't stop them, what are the citizens going to do? They can't stop them.
Bro, what?
So they're just trying to coexist. It seems the consensus is stay out of their way and they'll stay out of yours. That's how it used to be.
Man.
Some people would even say that they actually liked cartel leaders at one point. Pablo Escobar was known for almost having a Robin Hood image in his particular hometown, not a lot of other towns, but he would fund housing projects and help build soccer fields, which generally earned him a bit of admiration from some of the residents.
I mean, people, well, I don't know now, but people still regard Jay-Z as... Let me stop there.
Other cartel members, not just part of Pablo Escobar's group, but other cartels would have high-ranking officials pay for the bills of every single civilian at a restaurant when they go out to eat, just so the community would like them, which made it easier to traffic drugs through their town.
Oh, damn. Well, I thought, you know what? Okay. I thought that would just be like a little bit admirable, honestly. Shit, put back into your community just because you'd like your community to be good. Well, I guess that's not the case. Oh my gosh. I must be a naive ass person, bro.
But it's not like that anymore.
What the fuck?
Times have changed. It's said that cartels used to just target the rich, but now they just do whatever they want. One expert about the Zetas said, the Zetas steal from everyone, not just the rich. They certainly don't give much back to the poor, except the corpses of their relatives. They're just known for being a different kind of human being. To give you an idea of what Miriam is up against, one of the most heinous crimes committed by the Zetas was actually all over international news at the time.
Didn't you just say that they dismembered a pregnant woman and lit her on fire?
The Zetas were monitoring a highway. They stopped 2 trucks that were trafficking migrants to the U.S. border. There were 70 plus migrants in the trucks. The Zetas pulled them over, forced their trucks to drive to one of their kitchens or ranches in the middle of nowhere. They fed them all tacos and sodas, sat them down in a big circle and started talking. $500 a week. That's unheard of. The type of work you guys are trying to do in the U.S., you're not going to get paid $500 a week. If you come work for us, $500 a week. The offer is very simple. Work for us, fight the war against the Mexican army and the Gulf Cartel. The men, you guys will be trained killers, and the women will be domestic workers. What do you guys think? One by one, all of the 70 plus people said no. The Zetas smiled. Yeah, okay, no problem. Then let's get you guys going. They load everyone back onto the trucks, but instead of leading them back onto the highway, the trucks are led to another ranch. This one is even more isolated. There were about 9 Zetas tying up everybody's hands with zip ties. Some were blindfolded and forced into this tiny, abandoned, single-story house, and for the next 2 hours, almost all of them are brutally murdered. 72 were found dead.
I don't. I don't. I don't even know what to say, bro. Um, I can't. I can't. This is insane. Oh my gosh. Rest in peace to those souls, bro. My heart goes out to their families. Like, yo, like it. Um, I,
For what? It's likely that there have been more massacres like this before, but the Mexican Marines were able to find out about it before the Zetas cleaned up the bodies. It became international news, and also because a lot of the migrants were not Mexican citizens, it becomes a bit of an international diplomatic nightmare. And this was just pure proof that the violence with the cartels is getting out of hand. Even the president can't ignore it because the whole world is talking about it. These are the types of people that Miriam is going up against. But the whole world isn't talking about Karen. Unfortunately, that's not how the news cycle seems to work. 72 dead, international news. A young girl in Mexico goes missing without a trace. It's not even local news.
Fuck.
It's town conversation. It's gossip. It's a sad family.
That's fucked up.
Until the next one goes missing. It's up to the family to figure out what happened. Not even the police really care. Karen's family start piecing together the last time that they heard from Karen.
My thing is, it's like at this point, what can you blame Miriam? Like, I know there could be some people that be like, oh yeah, well you shouldn't take people's lives. Da 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 da. Listen, there are some people that probably have accepted that whole conviction already. Now, just like these people who feel like they just have to do this, she may feel like, bro, she got to do this. It's sad, but like at this point, she going up against this badass. She badass, fool.
Azalea asked Karen if she wanted to go to church reading with her, but Karen said, oh, I can't go. I have to go out with the cousin tonight. So the rest of the night, Azalea periodically tries to either call or text Karen, and she doesn't respond. Azalea's a bit panicked considering everything that's going on in the area, but she just assumed Karen forgot to charge her phone and she would just respond tomorrow. But then her dad shows up at the door. The first person Miriam talks to is the cousin that Karen was eating dinner with, which is the reason that she couldn't go to church with Azalea. The cousin said it was weird. They were sitting down eating and Karen got this call all of a sudden and she tells him, I gotta go. What?
Oh.
Where? Why? I have to go pick up a friend. Which friend? A guy named Ulysses. I gotta go.
Okay.
Love you. Bye.
Ulysses?
Karen was out the door. He didn't even...
I've never heard that name since learning about Ulysses S. Grant. Whoa, that is the most obscure name that I have ever heard. What the hell?
even get a chance to ask,
Oh my
who the
goodness.
hell is Ulysses? I've
I
never
don't
heard
know.
of him before.
She
Ulysses was a dead-end lead for now, but
Oh.
Miriam heard someone else had been kidnapped with Karen. Actually, Karen had been kidnapped with a whole group of her friends.
Really?
Carlos was one of them. Carlos was a close friend of Karen who was there the night she was kidnapped because he was going to fix her car for her. He went missing, and the next morning, Karen's mom gets a call demanding money from the kidnappers, the cartel. She tells the kidnappers, I have no money, and they laugh into the phone before hanging up. They say, well, then we'll send your son in pieces. And they hung up on her. But somehow, Carlos is home. He's back.
What?
And he's
What?
very much alive. And he knows exactly what happened to Karen.
Why did he do
So
that?
for months, Miriam starts begging Carlos
No, why did he do that? Oh, whoa, hold on. What that mean? What that mean?
to talk to her, but he's terrified, likely threatened by the Zetas that if he says anything, he's going to be dead. Eventually, Carlos starts telling Miriam bits and pieces about what happened that night. The way Carlos describes it, it's like a group of people, violent offenders, escape from a mental hospital with guns and chainsaws. That's how it felt being kidnapped by the Zetas.
What the
They're
fuck?
a group of unpredictable, unhinged, unstable, terrifying, violent people. Carlos had gone to Miriam's house. So Miriam is in Texas working and Karen lives there alone. Carlos had gone with his cousin to Karen's house since he had already agreed to be there to fix Karen's car. And while they're arriving, before they get to the front door, they are startled. Two men start coming out of the house to greet them.
Hold on, cuz.
Oh, hey, is Karen home? Is Karen? She's not here. If you want, though, you can come in.
I ain't. Nah, you know what? Not really trying to talk to you. Not gonna lie to you. Oh, I would hope that my car goes as fast as it can ever go. I'll put my shit in sport mode. Oh my gosh, I am gone. Fuck that.
You can wait for her.
No, I'm good.
Carlos and his cousin
I'm
walk
sorry.
in, and immediately in the living room, they see Karen laying on the floor crying. Her hands and feet are tied together, and her face is completely bloody and swollen. Carlos and his cousin try to beeline it out the door, but the guys point rifles into their faces. And one of them laughs. Oh, you're so fucked now. The two gunmen tie Carlos and his cousin up. They're tossed near the back of the house like flour sacks, but they could hear the two men just beating Karen, kicking and punching her all over. They kept demanding to know what information Karen leaked, but she sounds so confused by this question. What information are you talking about? How can I leak information? I don't know. I think you have me confused with somebody else. I don't know what you're talking about. But with each denial, they just keep torturing her more.
Bro.
We know you work for the Gulf Cartel.
What?
Karen is frantic. She's screaming, I have nothing to do with any of the cartels. Please. They don't care. They keep torturing her, suffocating her, bringing her back. When she passes out and doesn't get back up, they pour buckets of cold water on her.
Damn.
They're slamming their fists into her face, and she keeps telling them, you have the wrong person. Eventually, the group, Karen and her friends that were tied up elsewhere in the house, are taken to a separate location, including Carlos and his cousin. They call it the ranch. At the ranch, they're all lined up inside. The group from Karen's house, but also other strangers that had already been there. The Zetas are screaming at the group, telling them, you're going to get the bag. Do you know what the bag is?
No, I don't know what the bag
It's where
is.
they put a plastic bag over your head until you're on the brink of death, and then they bring you back.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. I did some dumb shit like that when I was a kid. I don't recommend that. It was one of those, you know what? It was one of those moments where I was just like, I can't really explain it. I was like 13. It was a very hard time in my life, but let's continue.
You'll get the bag if you don't cooperate. Carlos said it sounded like the Zetas were convinced that Karen specifically was working with the Gulf Cartel, and they kept trying to extract some sort of confession from her, but she sounded as confused as everybody else. But all the others could just hear Karen screaming, no, I'm not with them. And then there would just be sounds of her being tortured and screaming for mercy. The Zetas come around to one of Karen's friends, shoves a pistol in his mouth, and asks him, what do you want to say as your last words?
You can't say anything.
He just said, what did I do? The kidnappers start laughing. They do this down the line to every single person. All of them are kneeled and tied up. One of them says, what's your last words? The next guy responds to the kidnappers, may God bless you. And the kidnappers are swinging around their assault rifles, pointing them at them unhinged, just cackling. This motherfucker thinks he's in a movie. Did you hear that? Say it again. The third man, instead of saying something for his last words, he complained if he could just untie his boots because they're too tight right now and it's cutting off the blood circulation. The male kidnappers start laughing again, and they call over a woman. She walks over, and she laughs in his face, starts jumping up and down with all her weight on the man's legs.
I don't even think Stephen King could even think about some horrific shit like this.
Until he's sobbing in pain. She leans down in his face then. How does that feel now? Do your feet still hurt? And they start laughing. Eventually, they load everybody up and move them to another location, another ranch where they're all shoved into another small house, abandoned house, and they're forced to sit on this dirt floor. They were told that their families were going to get ransom calls, and if they pay the ransom, they'll let them go. They went one by one asking for the family phone numbers, and it was at this ranch that same woman that was jumping on the man's legs starts focusing on Karen. Carlos said this woman hates Karen for no reason. She doesn't even seem to know Karen, other than the fact that Karen's pretty. That's what this woman hates.
What?
Carlos said the woman straight up grabbed Karen by the hair, spun her around so that she's laying on her stomach, straddled her back, and she said, "This is for being so pretty."
What?
And starts smashing her head against the floor and using her fist to pummel her.
What
They were
the
kept
fuck?
overnight, making calls to their families for ransom. And by the next morning, one of the guys pointed at all of the male captives. Put the assholes in the truck. He points at Karen and her friend Barbara, the two women. Take the bitches to the tree. You know what to do.
What you mean that's what?
Two guys drag Karen and Barbara over to the
Hey,
tree.
cuz, this is...
They tie a yellow rope around their necks and fling it over the tallest branch of the tree and start pulling the other end of the rope. Karen is fighting back. She's trying to break free. One guy is holding the other end of the rope, keeping her suspended, and another guy comes up to grab a stick so he can beat Karen with it like a piñata. The ones that survived didn't see the rest, but they were told, and they speculate that Karen was killed on the tree and later potentially dissolved in acid.
Cuz, what the fuck, dude? Like, I don't... It just gets worse and worse, and how did... What the... Like, what the fuck do you... How do you... I don't like to think that people are born evil. How do you... What the hell happened? What did you get in this American training shit to turn you into this fucking... Like... I can't.
Cooked, as they call it. And I think all cases are very
This shit is crazy.
devastating, but I always find the ones where as kids they overcome all their obstacles and somehow are almost miracle babies, and then their lives get stolen. I think it's like an extra level of just
Fucked up.
betrayal from the world that Miriam is feeling, because Karen was able to overcome her heart murmur. She was able to overcome all of these obstacles. And then
Hold on, she got a heart. Oh, I have a heart murmur too. What the fuck?
they take her and then they kill her.
That's so fucked up.
Cristiano was Miriam's next target.
Oh my god.
He was rather easy to catch, not the brightest one in the group. He was arrested without a fight, and immediately he starts confessing to who he is. He admits that he was part of the kidnapping unit that took Karen.
What?
And Miriam stares at the guy that she once gave her sandwich to. He looks even younger now. He just turned 18 according to records. The cops take his shirt off to take photos of him. He looks even younger with his shirt off. Cristiano gave Miriam a few more names to work with. Another guy involved was killed by the Marines at the ranch. The main boss that ordered the kill was a guy by the name of El Larry. El Larry was the one that took most of the money. El Larry was ruthless, according to Cristiano. He would order kidnappees to be killed and cooked in a giant steel pot. His favorite thing was to just make everyone decapitate everyone.
Hey, Miriam, I ain't gonna lie to you, Miss Miriam. You, hey, words can't even describe the respect I have for you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like I'm just sitting here just listening to like the most sadistic person's imagination, and it's actually happening in real life.
Would also do this thing where they would get the kidnappees and make them fight to the death, gladiator style, and last one standing gets to go home. But most of the time, they don't get to go home.
Bro, what the fuck?
With every line of aggressive questioning from the police, Cristiano would ask for his mom, and he would constantly state to the officers that he's hungry. Miriam was watching all of this in a separate room. She could hear and see them. And she would walk into the interrogation room, stare at this kid who killed her daughter, and hand over her lunch that she brought for herself. Later, the police were so confused by Miriam, and they asked her, why would you do that?
She's a mom.
And she said, he's a child. No matter what he did, when I heard him saying he was hungry, it was like I heard my own child.
Fuck.
And I know a lot of people might be confused, but I think this has a lot to do with the context of they all grew up in an area where a lot of the kids didn't have a lot to eat. And so I think it's just this motherly instinct that comes out.
Yeah.
I think it also goes back to probably, given the circumstances, most of these kids would not have joined a cartel. That doesn't excuse anything that cartels do, but it does seem like most of these people would not have joined the cartels if they had any other options.
Yeah.
This is like probably the most mother of a story I've ever heard.
Yeah.
In every aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she is a deeply flawed character later, we'll see, but
What you mean?
I mean, what can we say when Cristiano and the others are responsible
Hold
for
on.
all the
What you mean deeply flawed? What the hell does he do? What?
other children dying in the area? Yeah, he's a child, but so is everybody else.
Yeah.
At the time, Miriam's son, Luis, felt like his entire generation, his age group, was being exterminated. That's what it felt like. They're being exterminated by the cartels. Either they join the cartels because they have no choice, and they die in a battle that they never had skin in the game for, or more often than not, they just vanish because of the cartels. He would think of a former classmate, remember them, want to reach out to them, and realize they had gone missing. That happened way too often.
Fuck.
But all the pieces are coming together. With Sama and Cristiano's story, as well as some of the other survivors from that night, Miriam comes out with a longer list, a hit list. El Flaco, the florist, El Mario, El Chapra, El Kike is the young man that allegedly pulled the rope that killed Karen. Soto, a former sex worker that is now dating El Kike. And a woman named La Machora, that's her nickname. Most of these are nicknames because they don't use their real names. She is the woman that beat Karen for being pretty.
Really?
They're all on Miriam's list, and they're all involved in killing her daughter. And one by one, Miriam is going to take them down because to her, she said, fear is just another word.
Okay.
If there is someone you don't want chasing you, it would probably be Miriam. The running joke in their family was Miriam wanted to be a cop, but she wasn't corrupt enough for it. She didn't qualify for the job.
Oh, shit.
This wasn't even the first time someone in their family was kidnapped or almost kidnapped.
What?
Azalea, Miriam's eldest daughter, Karen's older sister, is married to a man named Ernesto. One day the couple get home and they see this letter near their front door and they rush inside to open it up. There's no signature on the front or back, but it was, however, weighted, tied to a weight. So whoever left this for them wanted to make sure that they got it and they knew it was for them and it didn't get swept away in the wind. They open up the letter and it's like a stalker's confession, a very long list of every coming and going out of the house, what time Ernesto goes to work, what he ate at the local coffee shop, where he likes to grab lunch after work. Every little detail about his every little day was
Hey, bro. Okay. My goodness.
broken down and logged. Clearly, someone is watching him very intently.
I mean,
and
yeah.
at the very bottom of the letter, it reads, if you wish not to be kidnapped, call this number.
What you mean?
Before the couple call the number, they call Miriam. That seems like the best person who would know what to do. She tells them over the phone, I have a plan. I will drop off the money to the kidnappers.
Okay.
What? Are you insane, Mom? What do you think they want an old woman for? They'll take the money and they'll let me go. The negotiations begin between Miriam and the Zetas. Miriam haggled on getting the ransom down. So they're trying to get a ransom before they even kidnap him. Because they're like, less work.
What? That's
Yeah.
crazy.
They're like, if you don't pay it, we're going to kidnap you. You're going to have to pay it anyway if you want to live. So
What
just
the
pay it now.
Fuck.
But that doesn't even mean that they're not going to kidnap you.
Yeah.
Miriam haggles on getting the ransom down. She argued that there's no way that they could afford the initial request. Eventually, they settle on a number. Or, well, Zeta threatened the family and showed more information about Ernesto. They're on the phone and Zetas are going off and on about how much information they have about Ernesto and where he is and where he works and about his own family. And Miriam starts getting impatient. She snaps at them. Well, if you know so much about us, then you know that we don't have that kind of money. Don't be such an asshole. She's saying this to the Zetas.
Okay, Miriam.
And just like that,
Miss
it's
Miriam.
settled. Miriam is going to drop off the money and hopefully she'll come back. The fear they have is they're going to take the money and kill Miriam for the hell of it, or kidnap her and then ask for more ransom, but they clearly don't have more money, so then she's going to get killed anyway. Azalea tries to stop her mom. Please, Mom, this isn't even concerning you. This is our responsibility.
Man, listen, man.
It's him they want. What do they want with an old woman like me? And besides, if they try to take me, I'm not going to let them. She flashes her little pistol in her jacket pocket. Ooh. And before Miriam heads out, she turns to her eldest daughter and tells her, if I'm not back in 15 minutes, pack your things, take Karen, and go to the U.S. Miriam drives to the abandoned gas station. There's 3 SUVs waiting for her. There's nobody else out. There's curfew. Nobody's driving around. Miriam parks her car near one of the cars, rolls down her window, and a masked man is sitting in the seat. Leave the cash over there on top of one of the empty pumps. Miriam glances over. They want her to get out of the car. They want her to place the cash at the empty pump. Miriam tosses the bag of cash out the window.
Yeah, like what?
Chucks it and just drives off.
What the fuck?
She's like, I'm not freaking getting out the car.
Yeah, what? She crazy as hell.
Throws it out the window and drives off. When Miriam gets back, Azalea and her whole family are in the kitchen with a bag packed, waiting nervously. And Azalea starts crying when she sees her mom walk in the door. And she tells her mom, what you did, that's not something we can ever repay you for.
Thanks, Mom. Hey, man. Miss Miriam is a real one, bro. Good Lord.
Miriam just has this tenacity that a lot of people don't. It's very rare.
Wait, so did he come back?
Yeah, they never took Ernesto.
They never took. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
They're
All
fine.
right, what the hell?
Never got kidnapped.
No,
And
this is
Azalea
crazy.
said when Karen was 4, Miriam found out that she was pregnant again. So this was going to be another baby, but when they went to the hospital, the doctor said, not only are you not going to deliver the baby, but you have cancer.
Oh my gosh.
Azalea remembers looking at her mom's face, looking for any sort of sign that she's going to break down or that she's what's going on. But Miriam just shakes her head at the doctors. Well, I can't die. I got a young kid. Karen's 4. Louise is barely 13. There's nobody else that's going to take care of them. So
Fuck.
it wasn't pleading. It wasn't desperate. It wasn't like, no, I can't die. It was just, yeah, well, I can't really die. I'm kind of busy right now.
Bro, what?
I know cancer has no association with how the
my
person
goodness.
approaches cancer or cancer treatment, but to just look at a cancer diagnosis like that and have that kind of response is just very intense. Miriam went through weeks of radiation and chemotherapy until
Oh
she
my
was finally
goodness.
cancer free.
Hey.
Then the doctors told her that her health was declining due in part because of her weight. She's 5'6" and weighed more than 350 pounds for most
Oh.
of her life, which there's nothing wrong with that. But specifically in Miriam's case, her doctors said that she was not healthy.
Oh my goodness.
Miriam ends up getting a gastric bypass procedure, which limits the amount of food your stomach can hold. To give you a comparison, a regular adult stomach can hold about 6 cups of liquid and food when it's full. A gastric sleeve can only hold about 1 cup when it's full. Now, it's not a very dangerous procedure, but Azalea was so nervous for her mom, she asked her, are you not scared? Her mom just said, I feel like I answered that with a cancer diagnosis. If that didn't kill me, you think this is going to kill me?
Wait, hold on. I like her. She remind me of my grandma. I like Miss Miriam. Hold on. Nah, Miss Miriam a real one. Hold on. Oh, this is about to be cry. What the fuck?
Now she weighs 135 pounds.
Oh
and
my goodness.
She is very grateful for that surgery because it helps her hunt. Some of her days consist of hiking through abandoned ranches, staking out safe houses. She would have to chase down and tackle Zeta cartel members. So she is very
Spry.
conscious about her health.
Shit.
So she's hunting down these members,
Yeah.
and none of them are coming back to her, like, or kidnapping her or doing something to her.
I think the leadership in Zeta, as of right now, are not scared of her. They think she's annoying, probably, or maybe they haven't even heard of what
Bro,
she's doing.
what?
So they lose a few members. They're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. They don't even know what's going on with these low-ranking members that killed her.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, this middle-aged woman is just tackling our people, just shooting them. Well, they're low members, so we wouldn't. What?
Karen.
What the
But
fuck?
I think these low-ranking members, I think they're a little scared of Miriam.
I bet.
At
What?
least one by one. And it seems like most of them have split up. So some of them died by the Marines. Some of them are in prison. I think if they were collectively still in a group setting, maybe they would have kidnapped Miriam.
Ooh.
But yeah. In Mexico, you don't go missing. You are part of the disappeared. That's what they call you. The word means something else
disappeared? What?
completely. It means your presence has basically been deleted. Nobody knows what happened to you. They can guess, and they're probably right, but nobody will help find you. And if you know someone who's disappeared, then your life is in this perpetual limbo, this torture of not knowing what happened to them and not knowing if there's anything you could have done to prevent it.
What the
It's
hell?
said to be a very devastating experience. And up until Miriam, there was not even a support group or a community for those who suffered from having a loved one vanish. Miriam starts her own Vanishing Collective. That's what it was called. Family members of lost ones would come together to hear each other out, to support each other, and to write letters and call and demand answers from the government. This was unheard of. This is during a time where you were told, hey, your loved one who was taken by the cartels, if you report it to the police, most likely the police work with the cartels, and once the cartels know that you've reported it, another one of your family members is going to go missing just because you pissed them off.
This is like the I have no words, bro. Like, this is like the most insane situation I've ever seen or heard about in my life. Like, wow. And that also ties into like having to deal with racist people over here with the people who are like refugees. It's like, wow. These people don't even know the shit that I had to go through to get here. Shout out to my immigrant people, man. Shout out to my people who are migrants who want to, who just want to just have a soft life, or not even just a soft life, just a life where you don't have to worry about shit like this. I'm sorry that you gotta go through this shit, bro. Like, jeez. Imagine trying to escape from something and you just going through this bullshit. Like, oh my gosh.
But now, Miriam is gathering up all of the families and helping them get compensation from the government. Most of them don't even know that they qualify for compensation.
What?
The government didn't like to tell them that they did. And even when they find out, the government is like, you got to jump through all these hoops. Miriam would study the law.
Ooh.
Miriam was here. She spent all day.
Damn, she had all this time, all this brain power, this energy. They need to make a statue of Miss Miriam, bro. Hold on. She a real one, guys.
Making calls, pulling favors,
Oh my
threatening
gosh.
people. Miriam was a threatener. Okay, she would threaten to expose politicians, to call the Marines on the police, to call the police on the Marines. She was doing a lot. But
lot.
Miriam was here and she was going to help them and try and get answers.
Fool, imagine, bro. Hold on, wait. I like Miss Miriam, bro. Hold on, bro. She's like everywhere. Imagine making a support group while you out here hunting down people who killed your, like, huh? Oh my gosh. Shout out to Miss Miriam, man.
Just something.
Oh.
Miriam starts her journey as one of the better known advocates in that area. She was known for getting shit done, which means she's very aggressive.
She is an activist by definition.
Notorious for harassing and threatening officials.
Hey,
Those are
she an activist and she get active. She get active. Okay? She get active.
her thing. She told the collective, in numbers, they have power. As a group, they have power. They can make people listen. She told them, not even the government knows how many of us are out here. But still, she's out here making a difference, right? And that's when her kids, Azalea and Luis, start asking her, isn't that enough?
No.
Most of Karen's killers are slowly coming down. She's tracked down El Flaco, who it said he skipped town, quit the criminal world, and was now working at a factory. She tracked him down, had him arrested. Then she tracked down the florist. El Mario was taken down. The girl from the meat shop was arrested. El Kike, the one that pulled the rope, was ironically arrested at church. The minister asked Miriam whether she had mercy or not, which is a wild thing to ask. She looked the minister in the eye and said, "And where was El Kike's mercy when he killed my daughter?" Miriam got El Kike's girlfriend arrested, and now the main one at large is the woman who beat Karen for pleasure. The rest have been arrested or killed by the Marines.
Oh,
The top guy was arrested too?
El Larry was still on the run for a little bit, yes, but she didn't have as much hatred for El Larry for some reason. I think El Larry wasn't the one that wanted Karen killed. He just seems to be the one that's like, okay, guys, go kidnap people.
The fuck?
But she really hates the girl that beat Karen for no reason. Yeah,
I understand.
That's so sadistic.
Yeah.
So they're left, and Miriam could do that maybe leisurely or hand over her files to the police. That's what her kids are arguing. Have them handle it. Find closure. Miriam promised her kids she would stop when she laid her baby to rest. Authorities had found a few of Karen's rib bones in the mass grave at the ranch. Azalea and Louise thought, this is confirmation. That's putting Karen to rest, or at least the parts left of Karen.
No, the hell
right?
it's not.
Is it not? Miriam's friends and family thought, isn't this enough? Can't she stop now? When does revenge stop being about justice and start becoming all-consuming? When does revenge start doing more harm than good?
I would say, for me, I believe once you cross that path of trying to fight fire with fire, you can't contain a fire unless you have a fire hydrant or water. Once you got that shit inside of you, especially if you as determined as Miss Miriam, hey man, all you gotta do is just respect it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I understand that they're like nervous and everything, but job's not done. I ain't gonna hold you. Job's not done.
One day, a woman walks into Miriam's store. Do you run the Vanishing Collective? Yes, I do. My sister, Margarita,
Ooh, that's a
the
beautiful name.
raven-haired kidnapper.
I like that name.
Remember her?
Wait, what?
The raven-haired kidnapper that led them to the ranch that was killed by the Marines. All because of Miriam's tip. Her sister walks in.
Oh wait, never mind. I don't know about that name no more.
My sister was killed by the Mexican Marines, and they told me that I can't file a complaint related to her death, but I would like to. I just don't know how. Could you help? It made Miriam sick to think a victimizer would be next to a list of victims. But Margarita was dead, and Miriam thought maybe her family were also victims of the cartels.
Fuck.
They did, in a sense, lose their sister to the cartels.
Yeah.
Margarita became a mom at 16, continued to have babies with other men, and she couldn't really find footing in her life. There wasn't a lot of opportunities for her. And when she came across a member of the Zetas who was offering her money and not stability, but some financial stability,
Oh, gosh.
she took it. And her whole family told her, it's him or it's us, because her dad is a pastor. Margarita and her new boyfriend from the Zetas try to convince her dad, no, it's love, it's love. Look, he's even going to give you cash for a car. He throws the cash back at them and said, I don't want your blood money. Get out of here.
Well, it makes
To
sense.
Margarita's dad, she was no longer his daughter. And the more time that she spent
Fuck,
with these people, the
bro.
more she was becoming like them. And the family just felt like they lost Margarita. Margarita's family eventually enrolled in the state system for victims with Miriam's help to receive
my
compensation.
gosh.
At the burial
What?
for Karen's bones, the few that were found at least,
Oh.
Azalea asked her mom, when is this going to end? When is what going to end? This, all of this. Miriam flips open the coffin lid, pulls out a bag of bones. This is what I have left of my daughter. You think I'm going to stop now?
How long was she on the hunt?
2.5 years.
Damn.
They warned her. She had to stop before it was too late. It was going to consume her. March 22nd, 2017, 3 years after Karen goes missing and was killed, 29 inmates dig their way out of the prison.
What
they
the
dig
hell?
tunnels and dig their way to freedom. 29 killers are now free, and many of them are Zetas, and many of them are the ones that Miriam had put in prison.
Oh well, then you gotta. Niggas dug their way out of prison. With what?
Miriam is rightfully terrified. They're going to come after her. She can feel
What,
it. But
the
for once,
29?
everybody around her is a bit more relaxed than she is. They agree safety needs to be at the highest right now, which technically the police are required to protect her in situations like this by law, according to the victim's laws. But of course they don't. They don't even pick up her phone calls.
Bro,
Honestly,
what?
everybody had the same thought process on this one. Miriam, at this point, you are way too big of an advocate. The Zetas are slowly losing their power. They're not dumb enough to go and kill Miriam. The stir that it would cause on a national level, because at this point, the Zetas were slowly losing power. The Mexican government, the president at the time, very aggressive about the war on drugs.
Okay.
So all the cartels were kind of laying low. Because once you do something big, it becomes national news. Everybody freaks out. The president puts the target on that cartel's back. They're like, all the forces after this cartel. So it wouldn't make sense for the Zetas to kill Miriam right now because it would make national news. And then people would be like, you got to do something. Then
Didn't they do some international shit like, what, 3 years ago? With the 72 people? So now they care about international news? What?
president would do something. It would just be more military guns pointed directly at them.
Okay.
And on top of that, these guys just got out of prison. The last thing they want to do is get back into prison. They want to disappear, commit crimes in secret. It would be dumb for them to come after Miriam. But she's terrified. For the first time in her life, people said Miriam looked genuinely scared for her own life. Prior to this, when she was chasing everyone down, it's almost like she had this superhero effect. She did not believe that she was capable of dying. That's what it felt like.
Oh, shit.
A lot of people think it's because she was getting closer to her revenge. She only had a few more people left. And I think as she was taking these people down, I think that she was getting closure slowly. I think in the beginning, she didn't have the fear of dying because she was so consumed by vengeance. Nothing mattered. But now she's almost there.
She's finding closure. Like she's about to
be free.
She's about to move on.
But what's that freedom though?
No, don't tell me.
El Kike,
Did she die?
the one that pulled the rope, was out. He dug out of the tunnel. She told her kids, I can only hope if those bastards come after me, they give me a chance to shoot back.
Ooh.
May 10th, 2017, Azalea had plans to meet with her mom for coffee and cake later in the evening. But when she didn't show up, her dad starts calling.
Oh, no.
Azalea doesn't like it when her dad starts calling. Azalea just had this feeling in her gut. Something is very, very wrong. And she picks up the phone. Your mother has been shot.
Fuck.
Miriam had been getting out of her car in front of her ex-husband's house. She had her back turned towards the street, walking towards his house, when a car drove by and fired multiple rounds into her body. They fired 13 rounds. Miriam was hit 8 times. Louise found her with her hand in her purse, reaching for her pistol.
Fuck.
Louise calls the kids, and both of them make it to the hospital, but it's too late. Miriam was dead.
God,
Killed.
Man, what the fuck?
The mother who went after the cartel, the mother who would not stop at anything for justice for her baby, was killed on Mother's Day. Louise, Miriam's son, didn't.
Cause this is okay.
Think about any sort of inheritance when his mom died. She spent every last penny she had on hunting down the cartel.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The thing about like just the cycle of violence is like a snake eating its own tail. Like the fact that she was literally trying to get, I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought she like killed 10 people. That's what I thought. I thought she like killed them. She had sent them to jail. And then they came back and just killed her. The cycle of violence is so, it's so complex and so sad to where like there is no winner to it. There is no winner to it. And when I say like when you cross that line And it seems like Miriam didn't even cross that line for real. Rest in peace to Miss Miriam, bro. She tried, man. She tried. She real life looked the devil in the face and pulled his card multiple times. Rest in peace to Miss Miriam, bro. Nah, bro. Nah. I don't like this ending, gang. I don't nah.
Members who killed her baby. If there was
Oh
anything to
my
inherit, it would have been
gosh.
debt, but thankfully it doesn't work that way. Instead, Louise got a surprise inheritance at his mother's funeral. Louise was the one, the son, was the one planning everything. The funeral, he was slowly, without plan, just naturally taking over his mother's collective even. It was never that he wanted to do that, just the members started calling, asking him when the next meeting was. And knowing his mom, she would have been so angry at him if she found out that he canceled it and let the collective fall apart. It was almost pushed onto him. He inherited it by default. But at the funeral, he inherits something a little bit more. Something strange happens.
What?
Louise is grieving when this old childhood friend of his comes up to him and motions for him to come outside.
What you mean?
Okay, clearly this could be a setup. He could
Yeah,
walk
like,
out of the
what the
house
fuck?
and be shot too, but for some reason he really trusts this childhood friend. He walks out and there's this car parked on the side of the road. A criminal, not a good person. He knows him for committing crimes. I don't think he's cartel, but criminal. He rolls down the window. Do you know a guy named El Luce? I've heard of him. When you start looking into what happened to your mom, you look into El Luce. Then the truck drives off. Nothing else was said. A vague tip.
Who's El Luce?
Yeah, who the fuck is
Exactly. A vague tip that's going to keep Louise up all night if he doesn't look into it. That is how Louise inherits his mom's vengeance.
What you mean?
He would need to avenge his mother's death first, then finish his sister's revenge. Find the people who killed his mom first, then find the woman who beat Karen for being too pretty. Louise didn't want to, but he could feel himself falling deeper into the investigation every single day. He was becoming more and more like his mother every single day, talking to the same Marines, the same politicians, the same officers, threatening them the same way, hunting down
This is what I'm saying about this cycle of violence. Fuck, bro. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy.
cartel members the same way that Miriam did, learning how to extract information from witnesses just like his mom.
Bro, this is literally like, it's not, this shit just finds them. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you're like burying your mom who had this type of stuff inside of her to get vengeance, and then somebody else pulls up and just like puts that seed inside of you that you probably can't help. Bro, oh, I don't know what to say.
And it made sense. All that grief that he feels had to go somewhere. Azalea, she was married, she had children of her own. Louise just had grief.
Fuck, bro.
He didn't have anybody. He was putting all of it, focusing all of it on getting vengeance. So with Louise's help, mainly, just like Miriam, the authorities were able to get El Luce, the man who was hired by the Zetas to kill Miriam. So at this point, when the Zetas, they break out of prison, the higher ups of the Zetas are pissed at Miriam. They think that she's causing too much trouble, even with the collective. It's preventing them from getting ransom when they kidnap people. Every kidnapping is becoming a thing now, and they don't like it.
Oh, wow.
So they hire another random Zeta to go kill her. It's actually not the same people that killed Karen. He was killed before the officers could take him into custody. And from there, it spiraled into hunting down the cartel members that were involved in Miriam's hit. None of them were involved in Karen's death, so two very separate groups. And they genuinely just wanted Miriam out the way. She was just causing too much trouble. They take down El Luce. They take down Cheesefoot, who did the transfer of funds, that's his nickname, and another man named El Hugo. And then finally, through Louise's investigations, they take down the woman that beat Karen right before the murder.
Oh, they just found her?
Yeah, he was able to track her down and get her arrested. But unlike his mother, Louise is trying his best to stop now. He wants to focus on trying to get other victims' families help rather than getting swept up in tracking down more. Okay, how many people are semi-involved in all of this?
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to protect what he has left of a family.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the story of Miriam, the real life story of the Taken movie. As of right now, it does appear that the Zetas are still operating, but not in the way that they used to. They've fragmented off mainly into new groups. The Gulf Cartel seems to be a lot more fragmented as well, with cells operating semi-independently, almost like franchisees of a drug restaurant.
What the
It's
hell?
hard to estimate the current state of the cartel's influence in operations because there's so many different groups. The Zetas have also fragmented into CDN, ZVE, which are acronyms for their new groups. But overall, the Zetas have diminished over the years. And that does not mean that the reign of terror is over. There seems to be a new, even more violent cartel that has taken a lot of the control in Mexico.
What the
They're
fuck?
known as the Jalisco New Generation Cartel, or
Oh, that's the-
CJNG. They are considered currently one of the most powerful and most violent groups in Mexico.
Isn't that the one that's like being talked about now?
They were founded in 2010, and as of right now, their estimated assets are worth over $20 billion. And just like the Zetas, they are known for extreme public violence. They're responsible for a lot of the decapitation. There are some skinning videos of cartel members skinning rivals' face
Girl, go to bed. You gotta take a nap after this. Oh my gosh, this is too much.
skin off and decapitating them. Some of them are decapitated and their heads are used as basketballs, and those videos are uploaded onto the internet as almost psychological warfare. There have been rumors that some of the cartel members will participate in acts of cannibalism. Again, not because I think that they're cannibals, I don't think, but more so, again, for psychological warfare as a fear tactic. They're also very paramilitary vibes. They use drones strapped with grenades to attack people, and they're just wreaking havoc. So that is where we are with today's case. What are your thoughts on this? I don't think I've ever covered a case where a mom went after her daughter's killers with so much. I mean, I feel like she was a detective in a past life or something. And the crazy thing is, Azalea and Louise said it's sad to watch their mom go down this route, but at the same time, they knew that she would do this for all of them. And they said not once during her quest for revenge did they ever feel neglected. If they had a problem, she would drop everything. That is the story of Miriam. What are your thoughts? Please stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next one.
I learned a lot of stuff about the cartel in this video. The ending really just like made me like, whoa. Is this not the shit that they were trying to go at recently? Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Shout out to Miss Miriam. I applaud her bravery and just like her fuck it mindset. It's fucked up how it ended, though. It's really fucked up how it ended. I honestly have no words to this. This is fucked up. All of this is just fucked up, bro. It makes me sad as hell. Like, it's just evil, just existing like this. With no care. With no fucking care. Like, I don't have any words for real. What do you guys think? I'm just sitting here like, it just gets it's a cycle of stuff, and it feels like they can't get away from it. Quiet. What do you do when you can't get away from this cycle of violence? And when you try to leave, you are met with even more bullshit. This is so fucked up. I honestly would like to see what you guys say, because there are a lot of more things that I know that I need to learn. This is gosh. The fuck? Rest in peace to Miss Miriam. She was a real one, bro. She was a real one.